Well, it's odd because it was another world, wasn't it? You know, when we finished this, it was more than 2.5 years ago, perhaps, when we started. And having this reunion, we haven't seen each other since, you know, the lost years. And so it's really thrilling to be back together. Well, I'm a spy, a rather brilliant spy. Members of whose family are here tonight, which is quite sort of exciting for me. Actually, I'm rather starstruck. No, this is a man who was a brilliant barrister, who found himself working with the intelligence services during the war, and applying that extraordinary mind to these spy ruses, which are not. They're not normal, conventional, logical things. I mean, we learned that spycraft is sometimes to have ideas which are completely bonkers. Because the more logical you are, the more people can guess what you're about, because you can decode logic. You can't really decode bonkers. So, you know, it was what Churchill called corkscrew thinking, and he was very good at that. I think it's the collaboration. It's one of the, you know, creative forms that is collaborative. You know, I would have loved to have been a writer or perhaps a composer or something, but it feels solitary to me. And I just love being around, you know, fellow professionals and bouncing ideas and just having that sort of social connection, really.
I didn't know anything about it. I'd read a lot of Ben McIntyre's books, but I hadn't read this particular one, so it was a real treat. I came to it fresh, yeah. This is quite a lineup, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kelly told me her favourite thing was yours and Colin's bromance growing. Was that
lovely? It was very lovely, yeah. No, it was good. We got on very well, which helps. It was really lovely. It was a nice atmosphere on set.
Does this mean that you and Colin are now officially BFFs? Is that the word?
I think you could say, I'm sure. He would say that, yeah. It was just a wonderful. It was just a really lovely shoot. It was. I can't think of one particular thing, but just working with the cast and with John Madden as well. That was sort of the fun thing about acting for me is the doing of it. And you know, this is all fun, but the really lovely stuff is actually being on set. And, you know, saying the lines.
I'm feeling amazingly calm, considering usually as soon as I see a red carpet or a blue carpet, the adrenaline starts and I get a bit dry mouthed, and I'm just actually really excited to see everybody. Yeah, it's been a long couple of years. It was so lovely because I'm good friends with Colin. This is our third film, actually, and Matthew, we played husband and wife in Anna Karenina, so I knew Matthew, and then I've made new friends as well. It's been just, I mean, everybody got on really well. Like the press we've been doing the past couple of days has been just, it makes a big difference, you know. Watching Colin and Matthew become friends, it was sweet. The two Mr. Darcys kind of had a bit of a romance, and it was adorable.
Taken a while to get here because we finished the film just before the first lockdown. So in literally a week before the first lockdown. So it's wonderful to be here and also to see it with an audience, because we were going to have it last year and then there was another lockdown and then people weren't going to the cinema. So it's nice that everyone's going, and seeing it in the cinema is better than anything.
Hard to believe. Well, it's hard to believe because, we might have been here in our minds, at least a year and a half ago, probably more. I mean, I think we might have expected, all other things being equal, to have come out at the end of 2020. So we finished shooting this over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But that it is what it is. We've been through the most extraordinary upheavals, and they obviously don't stop coming, the most significant one of all being what's happening now. But films often take a long time to come out into the light, and it's worth the wait from my point of view. We still have everybody involved, not quite everybody actually, with us. We lost 2 people, unfortunately, in the process. But it's pretty nice. It's a reunion, of course.
When I found out the detail of the story, I didn't know. I knew that, I think I half knew maybe, that the British had floated up a body, but I knew no detail. I read the script and my mind was blown by not just the detail of the operation, but how many times it could go wrong and how many times it did go wrong, and what a stupid idea it was in the first place, and how only a ridiculous idea would ever have fooled the Germans. And so I think the thing that most blew my mind is that the establishment, literally a bunch of men in uniforms in corridors in Whitehall, were brave enough to go with a lunatic idea like this. Because normally things that are done by committee just end up getting homogenised, but they were so bold and fearless, and the consequences were so enormous, and they did it anyway.
I'm excited. It's weird having not, there hasn't been too many of these things recently, so it's a bit overwhelming. And also we made this a long time ago, so it's nice to be here, really. So I played Ian Fleming, the Ian Fleming of Bond fame, and he just, by mad coincidence, was a part of this plot that to deceive the Germans, and it's almost like the plot of a Bond novel, and he was really there, which is brilliant.
Has this made
Just amazingly exciting to work with some of my heroes, people like Colin and Matthew, all of them. Kelly, Penelope, Simon Russell Beale, Jason Isaacs. It's like a roll call of my favourite actors, so I was thrilled.
Finally is a good point, actually. I mean, we were lucky enough to finish the shooting of this film before COVID kicked off, and then had a very strange post-process. But because of Omicron and everything, it's finally happening. We're finally here, and it's exciting.
Unbelievable. It's so wonderful. I mean, look, none of my books has ever been made into a film or anything, really. So I'm incredibly excited. It's just it's a most extraordinary moment, one I never thought would happen. And it's largely thanks to him. No, it's very, very exciting.
It's otherworldly. It's like an out-of-body experience. So it's very exciting.
No. Did you start writing this? 2002, when did you first read the book? So, Michelle was saying she read it years ago.
I read the book when it first came out, and that's when I decided I wanted to adapt it, and that was 13 years ago.
Unbelievable.
So it's taken a while. It's just such a stroke of luck. And John Madden, who knows everybody and everyone, and he put it together, and it's been brilliant.
I mean, look, it's incredibly exciting. It's really nice to be out in a proper premiere with people, and you know, we've obviously had a strange 2 years, and it has been 2 years since we finished shooting the film, so it feels, I mean, it's sort of wonderful. It's quite nice. I mean, normally at this point in the process, I'll have watched the film about 75 times in the last 3 months. I haven't seen it for a year, so I'm quite looking forward to it. But no, it's great.